It kind of reminds me of early Leisure Suit Larry without the really cringy, over-sexualized stuff. Hey, what's up my lovelies? Welcome back to our video series where we jump from country to country, checking out my favorite games from said country. And depending where we visit, sometimes it feels like a mini vacation for me, taking me away from the never-ending Finnish winters. These videos go up every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, and comment down below where you're watching from as I'm picking the next episode based on comments. And speaking of mini vacations, I could really use some sun, and when I saw the comment from Tall Guy on one of our previous episodes, I thought, hell yeah, let's check out some games from Greece. No, not that Greece. I'm talking about Dolmades and Baklava kind of Greece. And hey, Tall Guy, remember that name because we're gonna come back to him later in the video. Anyways, Greece, we could do a whole video based on just games set in Greece, but no, that's not the point. We want games made by Greek developers. And what, you want a sneak peek? All right. Okay, that's enough. Before we jump into the list, it's time for a little history lesson. I want to show you guys some of the most famous games from Greek developers. Darkfall, the cult classic Nick Delios Conspiracies, Chicken Invaders, a series that I definitely didn't know about until now and has been going on since 1999 with over 6 games in the series. And hey, these are my picks, so remember, if you don't like them, just come yell at me on Twitter. Okay, let's jump into the top 10 GDWC games from Greece. I'm bringing a lot of personal bias here for our number 10 spot. Disconnected from Your Host Klestas. It takes place in Canada, my home country, so obviously, I need to show it some love. You play as a detective tracking a serial killer in the dark and snowy mountains of Alberta. It was originally created for a game jam, and it's fully voiced, and he's even followed up with 2 more episodes. It kind of reminds me of a low-poly Firewatch, and while not the most polished, it definitely makes up with more heart.
Wait.
Next up, we have a game that I unfortunately haven't played. I really need to pick up a VR headset. Anyways, Morg Agony from, and I only noticed this when I was actually writing the script, from Your Host Klestas, again, alongside Dimitris Dallas. The setup is that you're trapped in a morgue, and you need to find your way out by solving riddles from an unknown voice.
Let's see if you can find the rest.
All while facing a clock counting down to your demise. Imagine Saw
Congratulations.
meets an escape room, and that's what you'll get, Morg Agony. In 7th place, we have Netherspace from... I should have already added a disclaimer that I'm going to completely butcher Greek names, but here we go. From Konstantinos. And this is their first game, which is incredibly impressive. Netherspace was developed for Pico 8, a game engine that sort of mimics the limitations of 8-bit systems like the NES. There are games like Celeste that were originally built on Pico 8. But hey, I got distracted. Back to Netherspace. The game is a retro shoot-'em-up with hints of bullet hell, and it uses modern upgrade systems, allowing you to build your ship to your preferred playstyle. Netherspace and its sequel are available now on Steam. Next up, we have the strikingly beautiful, hand-painted game, The Twin Experiment from P-Indie Games. You play as one twin as you try and find your sibling who's gone missing after being experimented on by the evil Dr. Mengele. The game is best described as puzzle adventure with, again, just amazing art and really distinctive environments. And if you can solve all of the clever puzzles, you might have a chance at reuniting with your lost twin. We're at the halfway point now, and I'll say this about me, is that I really love unique games that do something that have rarely been seen before, which I'll say is a teaser for our number 1 spot, but also our number 5 spot. Dare Enter My Dungeon from Denberg, which is yet another creation from a game jam. I first booted up the game, saw the UI, and thought, okay, so this is some sort of a party RPG and I'm just killing the boss? Nope, instead you play the boss. And hey, that's his name. And your job is to take out the party of heroes in front of you. And the gameplay turns out to be more of a puzzle tactics thing. It doesn't play out at all like an RPG. You have to consider your placement and who to take out first. And a few times I just ran into battle and was immediately taken out. There's a lot more depth here than it would seem. And I'll admit that visually it is pretty basic, but the hook here is really the chess-like combat system. You can give it a shot. It's available now on their itch.io page. So I was going off earlier about the never-ending Finnish winters, and our next game brings me right back to that. Watch Over Christmas from Diana's Games is a point-and-click adventure game set right before Christmas Day. The game opens up with a cutscene showing Santa being kidnapped, and your job as a little boy is to help save Christmas for everyone. It's a really special point-and-click adventure game, and Diana's Games clearly has experience with the genre. Here's some footage from their previous game, Not Another Weekend, where you play as a disgruntled bellboy. It kind of reminds me of early Leisure Suit Larry without the really cringy, over-sexualized stuff. Check it out, both are available on Steam. Let's keep going with point-and-click adventure games, this time with Aurora, the Lost Medallion from Noema Games. You play as the titular hero, Aurora, and that's a hard Aurora, in this epic coming-of-age story in a sci-fi world where you were raised by machines, and alongside other kids you embark on a pilgrimage as you try to learn more about your true origins. The game features really great voice acting in English and has tons of language options for subtitles.
Someone got hungry and creative.
There's still no release date yet, but go give them a wish list so you don't miss when the game actually goes live.
Wouldn't want to get my tongue stuck on that.
We've made it to the top 3, and I just realized that I'm going a little too easy on you guys. If you love punishing games, then listen up. Robbie Swift in the Orb of Mysteries is next. You play as Robbie, a thief on the hunt for really any treasure he can find. This mysterious spirit is trying to tell him about a massive reward for essentially saving the world, and all you can hear is massive treasure. The game is a pretty hardcore 2D puzzle platformer, and there are traps hidden just all over the place. You will die, and die a lot. Imagine Dark Souls with Spelunky and a splash of Indiana Jones. I mean, these reviews kind of tell you everything you need to know. Give it a shot now or pick up the demo on Steam. My top 3 is just going to offer you something very different every time. In the number 2 spot is The Shore from
Morg Agony Games.
a first-person, atmospheric, sometimes cosmic horror adventure game. It starts off with your character stranded on a beach and things quickly turn Lovecraftian, with absolutely gigantic monsters and, well, no, you'll need to play it more to see for yourself. The visuals are absolutely gorgeous, the music and sound effects really help sell the theme and setting that you're in, and as does the unraveling story. It's an extremely popular game within the walking simulator genre, with already a whole bunch of Steam reviews. And if you're brave enough, a VR version was just released on Steam. And in my number 1 spot, the game that made me go, oh my god, this is incredible. A game from, do you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you about this tall guy? Well, tall guy gets the crown with his game, Apotheosis, Lab of the Blind Gods. Other than these 8 words, I legit have nothing else to show you, and I'll explain more soon.
Fresh blood? How intoxicating.
In-game, a recent accident has left your character blind and unable to speak, and, well, no memory of your former self. Using only audio cues and the guidance of those around you, you must navigate the mysteries of this new life you inhabit.
Don't you worry though, I'll guide you through. Take your time, follow my footsteps, and stay away from the edge.
Using expertly recorded 3D binaural audio,
Ready to become a god.
the game asks you to block and shoot at targets in a 360-degree direction. You'll need to scroll your mouse wheel up or down to say yes or no.
This series of wooden bridges connects us to the other side, where the waterfall is. Can you hear it?
Yes.
And the voice acting is absolutely incredible. It really just sells the whole game. This one character even reminds me so much of the Chancellor from Dark Crystal.
Tell no one.
Alright, that's a deep cut. Apotheosis is incredibly unique. I've seen, or I guess I should say, I've heard binaural audio experiences, but never entirely dedicated to a video game like this. I don't know if the intentions were to create a game for those who are visually impaired, but the accessibility here is really unmatched. The game is still in development, but you can pick up Act 1 for free now on Steam. Huge recommendation from me. So that was my list, my top 10 games from GDWC from Greece. Let me know what game was your favorite, right down here in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. And feel free to join our Discord. We have both developers and gamers alike chatting together all day about all things video games. I really appreciate you watching. Until next time.